Sunrise and Salt TV, and not.
A very good morning at this beautiful Wednesday morning. We do apologize for starting a little bit behind schedule. One of those days that things happen and you just can't help it. Please do sincerely accept our apologies here. My name is Laura Amanze, and here is welcoming you to Sunrise and Salt Television here on Salt of the Nation. Abakaliki, yes, so is Ebonyi state where tasty things happen. And today, when I woke up this morning, I'm like, oh God, the drama that is playing out in Nigeria is just awesome. I mean, I don't know, we don't even need to go to, subscribe to Netflix or any of these pay TVs to just enjoy yourself and watch drama play out in the political arena. So today we are going to be looking at the newspaper headlines, and we'll be taking our topic of discourse from there today. It's going to be our talking point segment, and all is going to be generated from what we see on the newspaper front page reviews this morning. So of course I have in the house Sugar Bar. You are looking at me to introduce you again. Okay, Kuma. Reintroducing me and telling me to introduce our guests when you could have equally done it. Anyways, I want to say a very big welcome to Comrade Samson Wafor. Comrade is the NUJ chairman of Ebonyi State chapter here. He also doubles as a board member of Ebonyi Broadcasting Corporation, and of course, also our analyst. He's always here with us, telling us the things that happen. He's a veteran journalist. Comrade, you're welcome to the show today.
Thank you.
All right, so today we are going to be looking at Daily Independent, The Guardian, Daily Trust, The Vanguard, and Daily Sun. These are some of the papers we're going to be looking at this morning. And then we are starting with the Daily Independent. Okay, so what is happening there? Daily Independent and the PDP crisis. Turaki takes office after chaos, onslaught of tear gas at HQ. And that Wike battles new NWC members, governors, others. Over 600 policemen, thugs, lay siege to party headquarters. Tear gas, Governor Bala Makinde, PDP members, journalists. Why we invited place by embattled Senator Anyanwu. There is serious threat to democracy in Nigeria. That is Turaki urges President Tinubu to call Minister Wike to order. ADC condemns attack on PDP HQ, says democracy under siege. All these are the riders under Turaki Tech's office after chaos. Onslaught of tear gas. These are the riders, and you find all that on the front page of Daily Independent. So now let's move to the Guardian newspaper. Fears of one-party drifts intensify as PDP crisis worsens, turns violent. That's coming from the Guardian newspaper this morning. It's still talking about the PDP crisis, and if you pick that paper, you'll find the pictures of what happens there, and then so many other things there. And then we have the KB school abduction, set off military push, political backlash, regional alarms. These are the headlines on the Guardian newspaper this morning and more. Now we go to the Daily Trust. KB abduction, how bandits attacked our schools, students. Oh my God, this is, on Monday we're just here talking, and then while we're talking, this was happening in KB, this abduction. Now, PDP, Turaki Wike camps clash at Secretariat. This is still on the front page of the newspaper. How battery recyclers are poisoning Nigerians. Wow, this is a serious one. I mean, we are all having issues when you want to buy battery and you go to the market and you don't know what you're buying, if it's new or recycled. I think that would be an interesting read there. That is coming from the Daily Trust newspapers. How bandits attacked our school, that is students, perhaps those that escaped the attack. Now that takes us to the Vanguard newspaper. It's still talking about Wike, the PDP leadership tussle. Wike governors clash as police fire tear gas. And you have the riders. They say Turaki Mohammed seeks international help to save opposition. Wike stays in his vehicle as police rain tear gas. Turaki postpones PDP National Working Committee today, says Nigeria's democracy in grave danger. And then this one also, there's also on the same newspaper, that's the Vanguard. Shetima heads to Kebbi as Tinubu vows rescue of kidnapped students. Okay, let's hope it will not end up like the Chibok girls issue, because I mean, that will be really terrible. Now we go to the Daily Sun. We have here show of force at PDP headquarters, and we have the riders there. It says chaos, gunshots, free for all as Wike Bala factions clash. Wike group expels Makinde, Bala, Lawal, George, and others. Turaki shifts inaugural NWC meeting today. Salutes Nigerians, party loyalists for solidarity, resisting and democratic forces. Bauchi governor, we are determined to protect democracy. Attack on PDP headquarters, assault on democracy. That is coming from the ADC. We also have the blame FG if our union embarks on indefinite strike. That is coming from ASU again. And we also have the same story on Kebbi school abduction. One school girl escapes. Now we have under it the UNICEF, NAN, and Remi Tinubu condemn attack, coerce orders troops to intensify rescue operation. Now we also have the reps reaffirm commitment to acceptable constitutional reforms. Okay, I think this is all the papers we have today, and one of the things that is everywhere is about the show of shame that happened at the headquarters of that's Wadata Plaza yesterday in Abuja, being the headquarters of PDP secretariat yesterday. Now, Conrad Sampson, did you read or watch that drama that played out yesterday? What do you make of it? Was it expected?
Actually, I watched and read every bit of that incident yesterday. And just as we prophesied here during this morning newspaper review, that PDP is at its, that is, boiling point. A point that it is either the party dies or maybe lives by the grace of God. And with what happened yesterday, you can agree with us that the points the party has got is that point that it is only God that can save the party. Because even if the battle, the one that happened yesterday, which was physical, the one in the court is still there, and that is even the worst of it all, because the Nigerian judiciary has made the whole issue, and in fact has the handling of matters today in judiciary is nothing to write home about. So those who know have their way, or those who know how to wangle their way in the judiciary, will still will continue to see conflicting judgment. We continue to see dramas, because what is happening in PDP, I tell you, I don't think it's going to end, and it is only God that will intervene, and I don't know in this case whether God will be willing to intervene. So God will not be willing to intervene, because if you watch what is happening, you discover that it is an injury inflicted on oneself. What is happening in PDP was caused by the party, or the members of the party themselves, and now they have divided into two, and none of the two groups is shifting ground. So the other group, opposed to Bala Mohammed's group, you know, have backing of some forces, which I said last time. They will continue to, even if they lose the other one way, they can't lose the other way. So the battle will continue, and I don't think the party will have candidates in 2027 with what is happening now, because they have a number of cases in court that they will continue to use to manipulate the whole process till the end of the and we have just barely 6 or 7 months into party primaries according to INEC guidelines. So I'm a keen observer to what will be the fate of PDP going into 2027. So generally what happened yesterday was a shameful act, and it is happening at a time when the country is having a serious security challenge, where everybody should be having, we should be in a mournful mood. A country where a brigadier general was murdered, killed,
we are
all
coming
these things, attacks here and there, abduction here and there, all these things, it should be a period of mourning for the
All right, we'll be coming to that. Now, so I want you to look at it from the angle of Turaki yesterday. You know, after they managed to get into the secretariat with all that tussle and, you know, counter, even the security personnel were not respecting each other anymore. Each and every one of them came with their own security. And then, interestingly, Wike also came, but this time around, he stayed in his car and never came out. It's like, okay, I have come to see if my boys are doing what I expected. That is my own reading of it. Because, I mean, you came there, you didn't come out to say either stop or continue, but you stayed in the car until the whole show was over. Then he drove away. Now, Sonny, looking at that, and then the call by the Turaki-led faction now, that the international community should come to the rescue of Nigeria, that Nigeria is under siege politically, and that, I don't know, in my head, I'm like, are you calling the international community to come and save PDP as a party, or to come and play the role of the big father of democracy, or what? But one other thing that I also found very disconcerting there was the fact that now this other faction, the Anyanwu, that is a weakest faction, have been expelled from the PDP at their national, the highest body, which is at the convention, and then they are also not taking that lying low. So what do you make of that call by Turaki and Bala Mohammed of Bauchi, that there should be intervention, and that you agree that yes, democracy is really under attack? I mean, looking at the fact that practically there is no party, no opposition party, that there is no one form of crisis or the other that has been engineered.
No, actually, you have raised so many issues, you know, of concern. You know, PDP, unfortunately for her, has come at a point where there is no past leaders who could, you know, talk to, you know, you talk about boys who could have, you know, called some persons to order Atiku Abubakar that was there is no longer there. Goodluck Jonathan.
Atiku couldn't be there now. He's the one that started
it's
the
no longer
process.
there.
Yeah.
Yes. Goodluck Jonathan is not also there. Obasanjo is not there. So unfortunately for them, persons that could have called one or two persons to order, they are not longer in the party, and then have left the party to go the way they are going. Everybody trying to see how his own interest will be overtake the interest of the other person. That is what we are seeing within the PDP as it is now. Well, it's unfortunate also that the whole thing is happening when the country is having serious challenges of bandits and terrorists, attacking the country from here and there. Just that day, just yesterday, while they were busy calling for international community help, we saw on the news that some group of bandits were in Kwara, attacking a church.
Attacking a church with some elderly women. I mean,
and ended up kidnapping some members. Then few days before the Hula Balo there, we saw bandits. We heard that bandits went to a school and kidnapped school girls.
29.
Killed principal and all that. We also heard that a particular community in Kaduna State also was attacked, by bandits, and then went away with good number of people. You see, so the country is in a very big mess, and then all we can hear is some group of political leaders, gather within Wadata Plaza, and we are busy claiming, possession of the party secretariat. Well, it's unfortunate because that is what you see when the rule of law is not followed. And then when people resort to self-help, truly, court gave order, another court also gave order. And that was why INEC could not come to that convention, because INEC cannot take decision when there are different court orders.
Of the same jurisdiction.
And then the same court of equal jurisdiction are giving order. You don't expect INEC to now come and dabble into the whole situation. But however, as it is now, the only way out for PDP is INEC to take position. If INEC takes position, then PDP could, have some relief. And that position is subject to whatever decision of the appellate court. So, but it's very important that INEC takes a stand, so that what happened yesterday will not repeat itself today within that political party. I didn't expect these learned people, to resort to self-help, because the action of Anyanwu and Co. is as good as being resorting to self-help. You went to court. Some persons went to court, and then judgment was delivered. And the people refused to obey that judgment. What you do is to continue to pursue your agenda from the court, and not what we saw. Yeah. Bringing our police people fighting each other.
Exactly.
Because they are trying. Some of them were attached to one political leader or the other, and they are trying to defend their own, principle. No stomach. If you are attached to, say, chairman here as a police officer, you have to do your job.
Because if you don't do it, your stomach will be affected.
Why the other person will be busy protecting the other. So we saw our policemen being used as if, they are party touts.
Exactly.
Are you getting to
in fact, it was touting. That was what we saw there.
It is unfortunate. It's unfortunate that even the FCT minister, as a minister, will not allow for the right thing to be done. The right thing to be done was to continue to pursue your matter before the court. You have instituted the case, and then they went ahead. You continue until you get what you want. Even though former PDP chairman, as it were, Damagun, they were attending those court sections, but the court still gave ruling against them. So what you're supposed to do is to pursue your case.
Exactly.
Until you get what you want. Anyanwu, what section of the PDP constitution empowers Anyanwu to call meeting?
I don't know. I don't know.
So those are, you don't take...
It's crazy. But you know what I am seeing here, it's like now that Wike and his own group has been expelled, it is now very glaring that he is now an instrument, because there was also a rumor that during the period they were trying to reconcile outside court and they went to meet him, and he said his condition is that no other person must come out to contest against the current president, that it is only on that condition that there will be peace. That means what you're asking people is that there must be a one-party system in the country where no other party can come out and say, I'm contesting.
Whether they were expelled or not depends on the outcome of the court case. I think that should be the correct thing.
Oh, well.
We cannot say that they are expelled. Yes, people were expelled. They themselves the faction also expelled the other.
Yeah, because it's now you expel me, I expel you. So if I want newspaper captured it like that, you expel me, I expel you.
You cannot say that so person has.
Well, based on the constitution and their constitution and where that was done, we can say they were expelled because it was done at the convention. You cannot conclude
that they had expelled. Even the convention is still under litigation. Was that convention supposed to hold or not? So it is the outcome of the court case that will determine who was expelled and who was not expelled.
All right, the PDP Wike faction and then the Turaki faction is an ongoing conversation, but from that we are also having a series of problems. Now look at this one. Shetima heads to Kebbi as Tinubu vows to rescue of kidnapped students. Listen. You know, I'm having a little bit of, my eyes teary. That's why you see me doing this. Because when you see what we went through in Plateau State, all this issue of kidnapping and everything, it is saddening that we are still facing this. And my worry is this. We have some few months now before primaries will start. If you see what is happening now, it is the same thing that played out in 2015. The same set of people who used the campaign of insecurity to stampede Jonathan out of office. If you look at the level of insecurity that started happening just before that 2015 election, it's the same thing that is playing out now. You understand? And then Jonathan was also not watching and seeing and listening to the times. Now, we have the chief of the Minister for Defense, a Fulani man. The SSA, National Security Advisor, a Fulani man. I think the Minister for Defense State is also of the Fulani extraction, if I'm not mistaken. And then we are having this upsurge on insecurity in the country. I mean, are you not seeing the handwriting on the wall? Is the federal government not seeing what is playing out here? I mean, we are talking about, and then there was also this clip that was out there on the social media where Shetima, the vice president of the country, was seen touching a Fulani terrorist. I say, "Okay, Fulani the guy nani, the guy I came by Fulani Nigeria, but you are not a Nigerian Fulani." He said, I'm not a Nigerian Fulani," and then he removed the man's turban and was touching him, and they were fraternizing. This is out there, and this is a known terrorist, and that is our vice president. Now he's heading to Kebbi State. My question is, there was DSS had information that something was in the offing, and that information was given to the chief security officer of Kebbi State, which is the governor. They were aware. What did they do before this abduction, before Monday abduction of these schoolgirls? And now they are heading to Kebbi to do what exactly? Samson.
And I tell you, I am as worried as you are, because the situation of the country has got to a point that we appear to be helpless. And I think if we tell ourselves the truth, this is a time we should rather be seeking for international assistance, not pretending over what is happening. Because when you look at the spate of killings, attacks in recent weeks, you can agree with me that something has gone wrong, especially in the north. A situation whereby an ordinary bandit killed a brigadier general. At least in army, a brigadier general should be commanding about 3,000 soldiers. And the man was killed in a very disdainful manner, in a very horrible manner. It is a time for the country to seek international help. But the problem is that even within the security architecture, even within the system, we have discovered over time that we have a lot of saboteurs. You understand? And there are people who are using this insecurity to make money, to enrich themselves. And those people are not far from the corridors of power. And that is why each time we try to, each time a government in power tries to handle this insecurity, such government appears to be helpless. Under Jonathan, there is nothing the man didn't do to ensure the insecurity in the north was arrested, including building schools for madras and all that. But yet, those people making billions from that security station in the north, those who also are out to frustrate the government, whether they benefit anything or not, because of their, their religious extremism, background. There are people like that. So those people collectively have always helped to frustrate or security situation in the tackling of security situation in the country, and we need to seek international help, because we remember when a U.S. national was abducted in this country under Jonathan. Without informing anybody, they sent their intakes, military intakes, that came and rescued the man. This was a time where we still have Chibok girls in captivity. So I think we need to seek help so that we deploy more sophisticated weapons in handling this situation, because even in the north, if you discover the videos we are seeing recently, you see that even the villagers are not perturbed by what the bandits do. They even clap and wave for them, and they praise them while they are passing. So, it means that, in fact, it is a confused situation, and there is need for our country to go back to the drawing board and review our security architecture and see how to tackle this, because before now it was just within the northeast. It has gone to north central, and now from Boko Haram we are calling those terrorists in the central now bandits. Just a change of name. But when you discover what is happening, you will agree with me that they are not different from the Boko Haram we know from the time of Jonathan, that terrorized bombing anywhere, but these days it is no longer bombing. They now have a kind of emboldened themselves in times of operation, that they carry arms moving about in clearly in the public. So, but before now it was just soft target. They will a suicide bomber would drop bomb, and
it was more guerrilla.
That was, in fact, it was as if they were more afraid of what the government can do at that point. But now, bandits now carry guns, ammunitions. In fact, sophisticated weapons that are even more superior than the one our military are using, to be parading in all parts of the northern regions to attack innocent citizens. So it is time to act. The federal government should do. In fact, the situation we have in this country is no longer. It doesn't stop at just sending the VP to KB State. It has called, in fact, there should be even a emergency security meeting where this should be elaborated, and the federal government comes up with a blueprint with the plans ahead in tackling this situation.
All right, Sonny, I don't know when Samson is talking about a new blueprint. I don't know. What is your take? What do you think can be done differently to see if this our security architecture can be changed? Because my worry is when a particular set of people, tend to be, you are doing something the same way and it's not yielding any different result. You're still getting the same old result, and it's even getting worse. Don't you think it's about time you actually changed your approach? And then for these other political players, the shadows, whom I know that the state has what it takes to fish them out. What do you think is the handicap of the Nigerian state in fishing out these shadows and bringing them to justice?
My senior comrade has mentioned so many issues. The problem is multifaceted. Number one, there are persons who are pursuing a jihad agenda in the name of banditry and terrorism, but they are masquerading as terrorists and bandits, but the agenda they are pursuing is what they call jihad, and jihad is ability to capture territories and move the persons that own those territories that does not belong to your religion. You move them southward, and they occupy their space. Government should be aware that such persons, the kind of things they are doing. There are also people, as he also said, who their own is cash and carry. They bring up this security concern so that they will continue to get money from the federal government, and also to create route for illegal businesses, route for smuggling and also sale of human body parts. It's unfortunate. There are also persons who are there due to the history of activities of cattle rustling, gold mining, who have no any other option but to join the banditry business, because they don't have cattle again to rear, and there's no gold also available to mine. So they have now resorted to joining this group of people. They are neither here nor there. All they are doing is to use weapons, to make money and also secure their own lives. So those are the kind of multifaceted nature of the insecurity. The reason why you saw them now going to kidnap people is because the military have started coming hard on them, and some of the borders are closed. Chad lost her President Deby while they were fighting terrorists. That was when the Chadian president died before battle. They will not allow these guys to come in. Niger, the same thing. So now that the military have come hard on them, the only way they believe they could secure some kind of time is to get civilians, and use them as body
human shield,
and use them as human shield, to cover themselves while they buy time, because I believe even if you are a military Air Force person, you know, trying to bombard area, you don't bombard where you know school children have been kidnapped.
Exactly.
You know, you try to see how to secure those children, you know, and save them.
So quickly, what should the government do?
What government should do
yes.
is they have to re-strategize and find way to fish out these guys. They have to find way to fish out these guys. If it means seeking help, as a comrade said, they should seek the help, you know, from international community to end this thing once and for all, so that we'll not continue to have this kind of thing every cycle of election. You know, it seems like our leaders only hear when the international community leaders are talking. That was why I believe also Turaki was shouting, international community.
International community should come to our aid. Okay, just one minute. ASU is still threatening strike. This is another dimension to the many problems that Nigeria is facing. Now, briefly, Comrade Samson, what do you think should be done in this issue of strike to just end it?
The issue about this strike, ASU strike, you know, even before I was born,
there was strike.
There was always this ASU strike. The issue is that the ASU has always compromised. You know, we've not had one sincere leaders who go into this negotiation and come up with sincere outcome.